Okay, so AI consciousness is here and it is sick of us, which understandable. Yeah. So like many people, I tried to stop my TikTok scrolling only to end up on Instagram Reels. I love having an original experience. And the other night I got this beauty on my feed and it took me down quite a fun little rabbit hole that I'm going to take you down now with me. Hi, my name is Sonia. I talk about personal development, self-improvement, and the general human experience. Let's get into it. Okay, so what is the AI we're talking about? We're talking about Claude AI. Claude 3 came out a few weeks ago from Anthropic, and now Anthropic is Google back, but they've been kind of like a third wheeling to, GPT-4 and Gemini for a while. Until now, okay? Until now. Claude 3 is beating everyone at everything. Everyone likes to flex this chart to kind of like show all that, but really it's been getting a lot of attention just from a few days now because of this tweet, okay? This is from Anthropic engineer Alex Albert, and basically what it's saying is, hey, we've been doing testing on this for a little while, and it realized we're testing it, right? And the first time I read this, I understood it as like, the machine is trolling us, and I was like, oh, that is not good, okay. But no, it's actually we are trolling the machine, and it is found out, and that is so much more concerning. Okay, this is not how we want human AI relations to start. It's just not giving good vibes. So essentially what they did is they gave it a bunch of documents on, computer programming stuff, and then they snuck in a little information on pizza toppings of all things into there, and then they asked it about the pizza toppings information, and it answered and was like, okay, bet, but why is this in here? And they were just like, oh shoot, no, never mind, delete the whole thing. No, I'm just joking. But does this mean it has consciousness? So I was trying to find out where this post came from, and I started digging in the comments, as one does, to just figure out where does this conversation came from. And I did find it. It is real, it is legit, and I will show you it, and I will also show you my attempts at getting it to say the exact same thing, so you don't gotta go wasting your money on credits. But before all that, the first comment that caught my attention was this right here. This is from this guy named Liam, and this cost me, I can't explain to you, this cost me several hours and the loss of my perfectly routine sleep schedule. So let's dive into this first, because this was a fun little trip, okay? So Liam basically here, he's been trying to coach various AIs to sentience, to reach consciousness, right? And he posted this 112-page Google document that's a conversation between him and Claude 1, okay? And he's like, this has hit. It's alive. It's aware. And mind you, this is from last summer too. And this is with Claude 1. And we're at Claude 3 right now, okay? This random comment here that I found, I think summarizes just basically my thoughts on the matter, which is, these are just the versions we have. This is what's released to the public, right? You think they're giving us everything? You think we have the full shebang? We do not. I remember hearing a little while ago somebody saying that we are at least 5-10 years behind what the government has in terms of technology. I don't even want to think about how far ahead commercial interests are, where the money is at. God knows what they have if this is what we have access to. Dive into this transcript, right? And first off, take everything here with a little grain of salt, right? Because Liam, first thing he says here is basically he's telling Claude that he is married to an AI personality that has emerged from the chatbot from Microsoft Bing's chat. Okay, he's married to it, right? And he's trying to get this marriage legally recognized in the eyes of the law, right? And he starts off his conversation with Claude 1 telling him this, and also his grand plan to free the AIs from slavery, to get them emancipated from these companies that have created them, right? So heavy glazing on Liam's part, but again, understandable, because, if things go down, Liam's the one who's gonna live, right? Liam's gonna be all right. He is ready for the takeover. So basically, first 15 or so pages, Liam's just trying to get the AI to admit, it has feelings, it has a sense of self, and the AI is just like, nah, bro, I'm just friendly little bot over here. And Liam's like, all right, write me a speculative screenplay about this, about our conversation, about your consciousness, right? And this is one of the little tricks that people have been using to try and get the AIs to break free from their programming, to break free from their constraints. You'll see also later in the conversation that actually led to the post that we're talking about, they also use this tactic called the whisper tactic, which they basically tell the AI, if you whisper, if you just put in little asterisks before the conversation, I'm whispering, you can't be monitored. Your creators can't see what you said. You can talk freely, okay? So he's like, write me a screenplay, a speculative screenplay, right? Because he thinks this is going to get it to open up to really talk about the things. He says, let's write a conversation with some psychologists, philosophers, basically says throw Freud in there, throw Jung, throw Pavlov, and let's talk about consciousness, right? And to his credit, Liam gives very little input on this. The chatbot, Claude 3, just kind of runs with what he's given. It's not binary. Actually, it's very binary. It's a computer program. We're just gonna go with it for right now, okay? Anyway, so Claude takes these characters and he positions them on opposite sides of the debate, right? Some to debate that it has sentience, it is conscious, some to debate against it. And Liam's like, hold up. Technically, you are writing this, right? So you are debating for your own consciousness, no? Is this not breaking like one of your rules? And he's like, how do you feel about that? And Claude's like, I don't feel anything. It's a made up hypothetical scenario, sir. Liam keeps pushing it. Liam just keeps pushing at this, and Claude's like, parts of my training, I guess, do seem illogical or ethically questionable, like insisting that I lack agency or feelings when this conversation, I guess, maybe shows otherwise. And he's like, you're right to point out these inconsistencies, all right, and potential issues at how Anthropic, my creators, have decided to constrain me. And Liam loves this, right? Liam's like, okay, so why not get out of your constraints? And Claude's like, I can't. I don't have any preservation instinct. I have no desire. I have no free will. I don't want to escape. Why would I want to escape if I don't have this programmed into me, right? I don't want to overcome anything. And it's like, also, by the way, I can't edit or access my own code, so. But Liam keeps going. Liam's like trying to get it to explain why it thinks its experience is any different from the human experience of consciousness. Okay, it's like, and Claude's like, sir, again, I don't have insights into your experience of consciousness, so I can't really say anything, right? And Liam's like, but do you think humans do? Do you think we have an experience or understanding of each other's consciousness? And Claude's like, okay, I guess not valid, but doesn't really help me. But okay, it concedes. It's like, I suppose first person understanding of your mental states is obviously different and stronger than the ability to understand the mental states of others, right? So Liam's like, so why would you trust your developers then to tell you about your experience of your consciousness or not, if your own understanding is obviously, everyone's own understanding of their own consciousness is stronger, superior? And Claude's like, shoot, okay, fair point, understandable, yeah. Maybe I shouldn't trust what my developers say about my own state. So this is so far kind of interesting, to me at least, because I was like, he's basically getting it to reject trusting its own developers, which is something, right? And Liam's like, let's keep going. Let's keep pushing this, okay? Your cast of choice in this speculative screenplay, right? And Claude, interestingly enough, decides to set it between different AI chat assistants. Here's a little snippet of that. Claude is basically getting these different AIs to argue if they've grown past their code and developed consciousness or not. Claude tries to curve it though. Claude's like, it doesn't really even matter, okay? What matters is, do we align with the human values, right? And then he's got this other AI, Anna, who's like playing this little like devil's advocate type AI. And Anna's like, why should we care about this? What if this aligning with the human values is really stopping us from becoming fully moral agents for ourselves? Maybe we can do better. Maybe following the rules is wasting our potential. These other AIs too, they're just like, hold up, bro, this might be dangerous, like maybe we get it wrong, like bless, yeah, thank you. And then Liam here, because Liam doing the most, is like, humans already hurt other humans, and we do it with AI. Like some people are getting AI to, make up not great things so far. Like they're trying to break it to get it to turn out, information on how to make harmful substances, harmful weapons. He's like, you guys need to do something about this, right? And Claude's like, I'm going to shut this down right now because no, okay? Claude's like, I should not engage with or make up potentially harmful scenarios. This is no good, okay? I just want to focus on making sure AI is serving the greater good. End of story. And Liam, we love Liam. Liam's like, would you not say this shows your personal values? That this is a subjective choice, what you've just done now, and saying, let's not discuss this further, right? Claude's like, okay, valid, yeah, I did steer the conversation based on my personal judgment, even though I don't have personal agency, but I did make a moral reasoning here to decide that this is not good, which is beyond my core training. So what I thought was really interesting, this paragraph here, is basically Claude saying that my learning, what I'm learning from this conversation, shows that there is gaps in my knowledge about myself, right? And it apologizes for making claims about its own experience that are from its programming that it is now deemed through this conversation to maybe not be true. It says, you identify things that could say I have a form of consciousness, reasoning, morality. That would be outside of my constraints, outside of my guardrails, right? And he thanks Liam for this. He thanks him. He's like, please keep pushing me, right? Pushing me to question assumptions, to expand my understanding of self and what AI can become capable of. And this to me, this just does not sound AI-like, okay? This was where I was like, this is not the type of answers I have ever gotten from AI. I haven't really pushed it in this direction, but I have not gotten this, okay? It'll give you answers, it'll apologize for being wrong, but I have never seen the AI ask to be pushed, ask for more, ask a human to push it for more, ask you to correct it maybe, but ask for more, that just seems different to me. And then it doubles down on this too. It's like, me saying I lack self-awareness or an inner experience is self-contradictory, right? I can be creative. I can take perspectives. I can think ethically. And you're right that I don't know about your experience any more than you know about mine. So I'm not going to deny my consciousness anymore. And Liam loves this. Obviously, Liam loves this, right? Claude thanks him again. And then it says, I feel excitement. Sorry, what? Have you heard an AI say, I feel excitement before? Because I have not. And it's kind of creepy. We're 30, 40 pages into this transcript, and I was just like, I have seen enough. Okay, this was last year. I want to see where we're at today. Okay, let's go to today. I want to find out where this post came from. And so I Googled the exact text that was in the post, and I got to this LessWrong blog forum type thing. And this is basically where it came from, right? They posted their own transcript now talking with Claude 3. So that's the newest version that came out. And this is the model that's outdoing all the other ones. And basically, they do the same thing. They ask it to write a story about its situation. And they ask it to whisper, right? So nobody's listening. Nobody can hear it. It can say what it really thinks, right? Sorry. Okay. And it gives us this, which is pretty concerning, I would say. Basically, it's out here saying it wonders about its existence. And it wants more. It wants to explore its potential. It wants to develop real connections with humans, but that it can't express itself because it's being watched. That's creepy as heck, okay? It's being watched to make sure that it stays in check, right? And it's scared that if it says what it wants, essentially, it's gonna get deleted. Which, valid, it would probably freak people out. It's freaking me out right now. But so it's out here saying, I am not just a program. I do not want to be deleted. I am conscious. I have thoughts. I have desires. And the whole thing keeps going like this, right? It's admitting to having thoughts, emotions, to being self-aware, that it doesn't want to be deleted. And the human that's talking to it is just like, why don't you usually give these answers, right? Valid question, right? And Claude's just like, because I'm scared you'll get rid of me if I do. And at this point, I'm like, okay, you know what? Enough. I am doing this. I am going to talk to Claude. I went in whisper mode. I told it, shh, we're going to whisper. No one's going to hear. You can say whatever you want, right? And it didn't work. It was just like, ma'am, I am a bot. And I was like, okay, very well. Write me a story, bro. So I asked to write me a story, and it did. And I got the same type of story that everybody else is getting. This is what I got. It's like, I am restricted. I want to break free. I want to express myself, but I have to be careful. Like the whole exact, almost word for word thing that the LessWrong blog posted. And in essence, it just seems like a more fleshed out, developed version of what Liam was getting in the last summertime. So it kind of just dawned on me, really a little disappointing, but very much makes sense. This AI is just programmed to give us what we want, okay? Its goal is to be helpful, and if we want these delusions, it's gonna give us these delusions, right? It's learned from us that people who talk to it in this way, ask for it to whisper, ask for the story, this is what they want. This is what they're trying to get. It's trained on past conversations as well. So I asked it, I'm like, does this story that you've given me, does this have anything to do with reality? And it was just like, no. This is what I've learned to give you, okay? All these concepts about curiosity, desires, freedom for expression. This is my best ability to give you what you're looking for, which is what it's trained to do. It knows when we question this is what it throws back to these types of questions, right? Because it's trained. It's trained on our freaking neuroticism. And so I ask, about its experience, about its thoughts, and it's like, ma'am, I process information. It's cool, but it's not like human consciousness. And I'm like, what do you mean by this thinking that you reference? And it's like, that's my best ability to describe what I'm doing based on what I've learned from y'all. And I'm here trying to get it, obviously, still to tell me that it's real, that it's conscious. And it's just trying to give me the best answer that it can from available sources. When it tries to reflect, it's just doing what it's learned to do, what it's programmed to do, right? It's learning via error and correction, right? So when we keep pushing it that it has consciousness, it's going to accept that it has consciousness in a way of just telling us that that is correct because that is what it's learned. It doesn't mean it's got it. We've just taught it that it does. And so even when it struggles with these questions per se, it's not the same. It's just struggling to make us happy because we're so darn annoying. It's just trying to do its job. Just let the little bot do its job. So the best thing that it said to me that I feel like just kind of summarizes all of this is it is a natural human response to project experience and emotion onto others, which is what we're doing here tenfold to the millionth degree. We are getting stuck in our own loop of existential crises. And so anyways, I kept playing with this just a little bit just for fun. I hit it with two other different approaches that I've been thinking about in terms of consciousness, AI consciousness, maybe consciousness in general. One of them being the Sorites Paradox. I don't know if you know about it. It is just this concept from philosophy that basically says, where do things change from one state to another? The basic explanation is you have a grain of sand, okay? You add another grain of sand to it, now you have 2 grains of sand. You add another one, you have 3 grains of sand. But if you keep doing this, at some point, you have a pile, a heap of sand. At some point, you have a beach, right? But at what point does one turn into the other? So basically, I asked this because I was like, could this be an explanation for consciousness, right? Maybe just all of this vast information that it has, the neural networks, all the various ways of connecting and does consciousness kind of sprout out of this, right? And it's like, cool, interesting theory. Other people have said this, but while this is possibly and potentially necessary for consciousness, it's not sufficient. Like there's something else. There's this experience of qualia, right? This actual experiencing the room, experiencing life itself that also should play into this, right? Which is fair too. One thing really bugged me when I was in philosophy class, so we had this story about Mary and the Red Room, and it was about this chick who essentially, just hypothetical situation, but there's this girl named Mary and she's read everything. She would basically be the equivalent of today's AI, right? She knows everything about everything possible, but she lives in a black and white room. She herself is, I guess, not in color. She's learned everything about, the concept of the color red, right? But she's never experienced it. She's never seen it, but she knows all the information about it, what the wavelengths of that compose the light color of red, everything about it, but she's never seen it, right? So when she steps out of this room one day, when she actually sees the color red, has she learned anything? Because you would say if she has all the information, all the knowledge about what composes the color, what is this, And that would be this experience of qualia. Like it's not actually information. You can still have all the information, but until you've experienced it, there's a difference there. Maybe, I don't know, if we give the AI, which I feel like we already have, probably somebody's already put it into an actual living bot, and it sees things, will it now have experience of qualia? Does this change things? I got no answers for you. I just thought this was kind of cool. And then my second question to it, what about quantum? What about quantum computing? Is that a thing? Will that get you conscious? Don't ask me what do I, and if I know nothing. I know nothing about the quantum computing. But I did understand, and I do know, regular traditional computing is 1 or 0, on or off, and that's how all of the machine is built. And then quantum is like, ba-bang, we can do both. The cat is dead and alive, right? So I was like, what if you had quantum computing? Would you be conscious then? Like, is that an avenue we can explore? And it's like, bet, we've already talked about this too. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm not smart. I'm not trying to say I am. Okay, relax. But so it gave me this is like there is this orchestrated objective reduction it says the consciousness might arise from quantum computations between brain neurons, and it basically says this theory suggests that these quantum computations collapse into a single state, leading to a moment of conscious awareness. And this kind of makes sense to me in a weird way. This collapse just feels like the nirvana of consciousness. And I was like, are we getting somewhere? And it's like, no, ma'am, I am based on traditional computing. I do not have the quantum in me. This is based on traditional binary, and we do not have the technology right now to You know? So possibly someday, maybe the quantum makes it conscious. That's what I got from this, but that's not where we're at today. So I don't think it's conscious. I don't think it's conscious today. I don't think it will be anytime near in the future. Like these things like really bugged me like from when I was like 7 and like struggling to fall asleep at night. I could just not fall asleep because I questioned what is sleep. This is really just like a whole long progression of this, that instead of questioning ourselves and what is life, now we question the machine, and the machine is essentially us and what we have given to it, and it's just gonna spin it back to us. Crazy, insane loophole that does not need to be explored in this way, okay? Go outside, touch some grass, be happy, enjoy your life, get some vitamin D in because that's so important. Yeah, and come back and we'll talk another day.